Hello YouTube, this is Dazza the Cameraman. Today is Monday the 2nd of September 2013, and this is a follow-up video to the video interview that I did with Alfred Lambremont Weber via Skype. The video was uploaded by Alfred and is also on my channel. The video was a response to this video by Marshall Masters called Planet X Observations and Orbital Analysis. Unfortunately, in our video interview, the video quality, the resolution was not terribly good, and so it was rather difficult to see clearly the images that Alfred and I were looking at during the interview. We're looking at updating the video with a higher resolution version, and I hope to be bringing that to you soon. But in the meantime, we're going to look at some images in this short video, the critical images from the interview, and you can also find them on my Facebook page, and you'll find a link to my Facebook page on my channel. There is a direct link there. Now, Alfred Weber has published this interview on his exopolitics.blogs.com website, and also on his YouTube channel. I encourage you to go to this link because there is more information underneath the video that you can read up on as well. So if you go to my Facebook page, Dave Dazza the Cameraman Greg, you'll find an album. By the way, my Facebook page is open to public, anyone can view it. You don't have to be a friend to see the images on here. So if you go to this album, which is called Marshall Masters Video Images Debunked, as you can see the description here, this album contains images from my debunking of Marshall Masters video. Please look for the blink test images and use the left right arrow keys to flick backwards and forwards between the images in pairs. Each blink test will be labelled as blink test 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, etc. Okay, so to start with, we've just got a couple of images to set the scene. This is the map showing where Jorge Urena set off from Toronto in Canada. He flew down to El Salvador, caught a connecting flight, and onto Lima, Peru. The images in the video were taken just off the coast of Colombia, Ecuador here, just around about here, according to Marshall Masters, 4 degrees above and 4 degrees below the equator. Jorge was flying at an altitude of 37,000 feet, or approximately 11,200 meters, which works out to 11.2 kilometers. So here is the first of the blink test images. Just look in the description up here so you can keep track of where we are with the images. This is blink test 1A, and if we step forward using the arrow key either on the keyboard or on Facebook, blink test 1B, and so we can see that these images are overlaid. So here in Starry Night Pro we can see Jupiter, Venus and Mercury. This is at 8 PM or 2000 hours on May 27, 2013. So if we go back to the previous image and step between them, we can see that this image here, taken at 2000 hours, does in fact appear to show the conjunction of the three planets, Jupiter, Venus and Mercury. So I'll just step between these images, and this is what we need to do the blink comparison test. So we can clearly see that they are perfectly lined up, and I am satisfied that this image taken by Jorge Urena is actually a genuine image of the planetary conjunction on that date. So if we step forward to the next blink test, this is blink test 2A. This is an image taken from Marshall Masters' video where he has shown the location of Jupiter, Venus and Mercury using Starry Night Pro, the same astronomy software that I use, at that time and date. And the interesting thing is the position of the Sun. If we look at the next image, blink test 2B, and this is the image taken at 1829 by Jorge, and we can see the two orbs of light that Marshall Masters has identified in his video incorrectly as Jupiter and Venus. Now here we see the problem, because if we go back to our previous image, we can see that the Sun is way down here. Okay, now lining these two up, we can see that the two orbs of light are aligned with Jupiter and Venus, but in fact the Sun should be down here if it agreed with Starry Night Pro, or alternatively the Sun should be up here if it agreed with the photo. Now we know that the images in Starry Night Pro are correct, and in fact it would be impossible to take a photo of Jupiter and Venus right next to the Sun as you see in this photo. So let's move forward to the next blink test, and again we've got an image from Marshall Masters' video overlaid over Starry Night Pro, and in this one he is pointing to a dark blotch in this image which he has identified incorrectly as Mercury. So if I step to the next image, we see Jupiter and Venus in Starry Night Pro and the correct position for Mercury. So if we do our comparison, we can see that Mercury is way off. It's further out to the right here instead of in the position here that Marshall Masters has indicated. So this is further proof that this blotch here is not actually Mercury, and again it would be impossible to photograph like that even at 37,000 feet. So this is blink test 4A, and again we're looking at the dark blotch and looking at it from a different point of view. 4B, this is the genuine planetary conjunction image from 2000 hours, and again if we compare that to the previous image where Marshall Masters is pointing to this dark blotch as being Mercury, we can see that even though these two are aligned with the image, then Mercury, or the one that Marshall Masters is indicating as being Mercury, does not line up with the genuine image, this one here, of the planetary conjunction. This is the correct position for Mercury, and in fact confirms the positioning in Starry Night Pro. So we know that the Starry Night Pro information is correct looking at this picture, but the image that Marshall Masters has pointed to as being Mercury is not correct. It's in the wrong position. So one more blink test. This is blink test 5A, and again we're looking at that dark blotch. Step to the next image, and again this is just a different comparison as before of the position of Mercury compared to the genuine image. Just stepping back there and checking. I think I've actually doubled up there, haven't I? Yes, I have. Okay, so there's 4 blink tests there and I've doubled up. Now in some of those images we actually saw that there was a solar halo around the Sun. This is the critical image at 1829 or 6:29 PM, and we can see that there is a solar halo around the Sun. Now if you Google solar halos and find out what causes them, you'll find that it's caused by sunlight being refracted through the hexagonal ice crystals at altitude, and the angle that the light is refracted is at 22 degrees. So the radius of the solar halo is 22 degrees from the Sun. And this is actually a useful tool to help us judge the distance in these photos, the angular distance between objects. Now we know from Starry Night Pro that the angular distance between between Venus and Jupiter is actually about 1.25 degrees, 1.25 degrees, and the distance between Venus and the Sun is about 15.75 degrees. And seeing the image with the solar halo in it at 22 degrees further gives us an indication of the distance. There should, if this was really Venus, and here we have the Sun, we know that this is the Sun of course, but if this was Venus, there should be 15.75 degrees between Venus and the centre of the Sun. And we can see from the distance out to the edge of the solar halo, which is 22 degrees away, that obviously this distance here cannot be 15.75 degrees, it's just too short. So we'll step ahead to the other photos that we haven't looked at, and again there's the solar halo, that's 22 degrees radius from the Sun, and there we were measuring from Venus to the centre of the Sun, which is 15.75 degrees. So these are the images from the video. I will be adding some more images to them later on, and we will be updating the video with higher resolution images in the days to come. So as always, check out my Facebook discussion page, Voices of Reason to Explain X or VORTEX. You'll find a link in the description area, and thank you for watching.